Honorable members, prayers. Let us pray. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. Amen. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable members, I apologize profusely for using almost 2 hours of your time in transacting other official businesses. So I'm the cause of the delay in starting today's business, and I sincerely apologize for that. We will go to item 2, which is messages from the President. I have one message from the President. That message is dated 12 November 2022. It reads, Mr. Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the Constitution, I write to inform you that I'll be traveling outside the country on the evening of Sunday, 13th November 2022, for a 2-day private visit to London, United Kingdom. I'll return to Ghana in the evening of Wednesday, 16th November 2022. During my absence, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia shall, in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution, act in my stead. Yours sincerely and best wishes, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I don't have a formal communication today, so we'll move to item 4, which deals with correction of votes and proceedings and official report. I think I have to say this. Table office, for some time now, we've not received copies of the official reports. Please don't deny us what is our entitlement. We need to know how you covered the proceedings, how you recorded the deliberations, how you captured the words we used. Well, sometimes you get it wrong, and we need to get the opportunity to rectify that. So please, from tomorrow onwards, let's start getting all the areas. so that we can do the necessary corrections. With this, we'll start the correction of votes and proceedings with the votes and proceedings of Friday, 11th November 2022. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7. Yes, Honorable. Honorable Lady, your mic.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I will not continue. It's okay. I've withdrawn. Thank you.
Yes, Second Deputy Speaker.
Right, Honorable Speaker, page 7, item 13 and 14. We were at the APO by your directives, and we filled the form for permission, yet we've been marked absent without permission. So if that can be addressed by the table. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Item 14 and 15. Am I right?
And 13.
13 and 14. Well, table office kindly cross-check. Definitely, I know I give them the permission to represent the country outside at an international conference. But I saw some of them in the house. I'm not too sure I actually granted the official permission. So please go and check from the procedure to see whether the forms got to me and I granted them the written permission. You know, the permission must be in writing. So cross-check on that and let's do the writing. But truly, I was shocked to see some of you present. Was when I approved a travel for a member. I expect that the member will take opportunity to represent the country outside and make sure that Ghana is properly marketed. And so, if for no reason I see you in the house, that is a complete affront to my authority. Please, we spend a lot of money processing, buying tickets, paying for hotel bills, and we must take it serious. If for any reason you cannot attend, get back in touch with me. You just don't decide that you won't go and then come, but the next day you are complaining that you are not getting opportunity to travel. You have never represented the country and all those things. That is an affront. And leadership, you don't have that authority to call members and tell them to return to the country without any access to the speaker. Please, no country develops without the rule of law. It's chaos. There's always a rule to go by. If for any reason you think there's a challenge to that, there's a process, a system in place to address these things. Some members called me from outside that they receive calls from whips to return to the country without my knowledge. That is not allowed. I'm compelled to say these things publicly because of the posture and attitude of leadership. If not, the usual communication channels are there. let this be the last. Honorable members, so kindly take note, table office, do the right thing. We move to page 8. Yes. Page 9. Page 10. Yes, please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Page 10, item number 1348, the last sentence. I think the proper rendition should be Atrema Techima, not Atrena Techima. Atrema Techima.
The spelling, please.
A-T-W-I-M-A, not N-A, M-A. Atrema, not
M,
yes,
not
please.
N. Table office, kindly take note.
Thank you.
Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Page 21. Page 22. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of the 12th sitting held on Friday, 11th November 2022 are adopted as a true record of proceedings. Honorable members, item 5. Questions. We have a lot of questions today. We have 18 questions, and we intend to finish all the 18, and so I have to manage the time. Yes. Honorable Regional Minister, today, we have to finish all the 18 questions today. So let's manage the time very well. The Minister for Roads and Highways to take the proper seat. We have 8 questions. They should have been taken on Friday, but for good reason, we couldn't do so. So we have to take them all today. The first question stands in the name of the Honorable Member for Central Tongue, Honorable Alexander Roosevelt Otoji. Honorable Member you may ask your question now. Honorable Hotoji. We move on to question number 617. The honorable member is not available. Question number 617, who signs the name of the honorable member for Nalirgu Gambaga, Honorable Seidu Isifu. You may now ask your question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what plans the ministry has for the following road networks. 1. Barinya, Kulgwana, Nanyeri, and Tok Road. 2. Nago, Jawane, Tunni, and Kalboyiri roads. Number 3. Bangda, Pasoku Road. Jawane, Zandua, Mojo, Parvaka, Nungwa Road. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Balinga to Kugona to Nangeri to Twak road measures 24.5 kilometers. Nagbo Jawani to Tuni to Kaboyiri measures 25.1 kilometers. Banda Pasuku is of the length 15.2 kilometers. Jawani Zandua Mozio to Balivaka to Nungwa also measures 20.5 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, these roads are identified feeder roads located in the East Mamprusi district of the Northeast region. The roads have gravel and earth sections refer to poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, there is no program on these roads. A future program is that engineering design and condition survey have been carried out on these roads and cost estimates prepared for spot improvement and rehabilitation interventions. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of the interventions will, however, be considered under the 2023 budget. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have only one supplementary question. First of all, I want to thank the Minister for giving the firm assurance that these roads will be captured in the 2023 budget. I'm also aware that some engineering work has been done, and I want to thank the Minister.
Did I hear you say he gave assurance? Because of the Committee of Assurance, because what I see here is the implementation of the interventions will, however, be considered. To be considered. I don't know whether that is an assurance. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was just building a point, so maybe when I conclude, you understand what exactly I want to say. But it is refreshing to hear that some engineering work has been done, and I want to commend the Minister for that. Now, he's saying that it will be considered in the 2023 budget. Fortunately, we are just some few weeks away from the budget. I want to find out whether he can confirm that this program, these roads, are actually captured in the 2023 budget. Thank you.
You see why I raised the initial point? If you start by saying the man has given you assurance, and now you are asking a question, whether they will be considered, what kind of assurance would that be? Have they been captured in the budget? If you are assured that they've been done, why now ask this question. But the minister is available. Please, Minister, he wants to know, we are a few days away from the budget presentation. Have they been captured in the budget, the 2023 budget?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as indicated in my answer, those four roads are critical roads in his constituency. And he knows that a lot of work has been done in that constituency with Gambaga and Nalerugu town roads already asphalted, with Nalerugu to Bunche road currently ongoing. Contractor, strong contractor, Maripoma is on it working. And then Nalerugu, Bumpruku, the 35-kilometer road, is also under consideration. So these four have been picked as not worked on yet. And as I indicated in my answer, they are mostly gravel roads between fair and poor condition. And we have done the estimates. The estimates for these four roads together will cost something in the region of 300 million Ghana cedis. So work has been done and it's being prepared to take off from next year. That is to be part of the 2023 budget. So, Mr. Speaker, those four roads are already captured. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
If the minister says has been captured, is he saying it has been captured in the 2023 budget so that I will look for it when the budget comes before Parliament? That is what I want to hear. Thank you.
Whether he says so or not, when the budget comes, we still have to make sure to look whether they are captured or not. But Minister, he wants to hear it from you. Are they captured?
Mr. Speaker, let me specifically respond to that. If we say that it's captured in our database for consideration, it might be part of the bulk road that provision is made of. Definitely, a budget cannot list every single road in this country. So that if you don't hear these specific roads being mentioned in a budget or being listed in a budget, it doesn't mean that provision is not made and is not going to be worked on. We have different kinds of activities. It may come under routine maintenance program, it may come under periodic maintenance program, but it will not be itemized. All roads in Ghana cannot be itemized in a budget. So don't get it wrong if you don't see it specifically itemized in the budget. But in our database, and these are all feeder roads. So in feeder roads database, I can say that these roads will be considered in 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, your last supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the road minister is a friend, is my uncle. That's how I call him. I want to find out, these four roads, will they be worked on in 2023? As for the database, I know he has the database, but I want to find out. Should I communicate to the people, my constituents, to get ready for this construction to begin in 2023? Thank you.
Yes. Minister.
Mr. Speaker. Yes, obviously the will is there, but all depend upon availability of cash. Thank you very much.
The spirit is willing, but the body is weak. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, when you called Honorable Hotoje, he's got your permission. It's an official visit outside of the country. I know the minister has already prepared the answer to maximize the minister's time and that of Parliament. With your indulgence, will you permit a colleague to ask the question on behalf of Honorable Hotoje, so the minister doesn't have to come back at another time to answer the same question? It's just with your kind indulgence, if a colleague can ask that question on his behalf.
Honorable available leader, I don't have that authority. Unless the member says that he has the authority of the member who is absent to ask the questions on his behalf, then I can grant the leave. But when I called the name, no member stood up to say this. And so we had to move on. If that member wasn't available, and the member has now come in, and you are seeking my permission to grant that member the opportunity to do so, I will definitely do that. I will not deny a representative of the people the opportunity to be heard. So please, if you're sure somebody has that authority, please, you can seek my permission now, and I will give it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have the authority of the member whose question is advertised to ask the question on his behalf.
Is that authority in writing or is oral?
Mr. Speaker, I communicated with him on the phone. He's actually on his way out of the country as we speak. And so he's asked me to do that on his behalf.
You may do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask this question on behalf of Mr. Alexander Roosevelt, Hotoje, Central Town Member of Parliament, to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways, when will the ministry consider constructing a steel bridge on River Mlago, the absence of which impedes free movement of goods and people to and from Mafidove and Bogaji, Aklaya, and Afloko Kope? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Murphy Dove, Gogaji, Akraya, and Afrakope are communities located in the Central Town District of the Volta region. There is no road connecting Murphy Dove to Podazi, Akraya, and Akrakope, which are at opposite bank of River Miko. Mr. Speaker, currently there is no bridge construction program to link these communities. The future program, Mr. Speaker, is that the bridges unit of the Department of Feeder Roads will undertake feasibility studies to identify the safe crossing point in the fourth quarter of 2022. Detailed geotechnical design would then be undertaken thereafter. The implementation of the intervention, Mr. Speaker, will, however, be considered under the 2023 budget. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, any supplementary?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the answer given by the Minister under the future program, you indicate feasibility studies will be undertaken in the fourth quarter. Can the Minister give us exactly when within the fourth quarter that this exercise will take place? The feasibility studies, when within the fourth quarter will you do that?
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, fourth quarter is in currency, so I'm talking about this fourth quarter. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, having done a bit about some details about the challenges that people go through, is there a way you can put in an alternative, some temporary measure to, help lessen the burden they go through when they need to access such places across both banks of the river?
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the type of bridge or bridge construction to be undertaken will be determined after the detailed geotechnical studies and the design thereafter. Because if we find the crossing point to be a bit narrow and not too wide, we may decide to construct box culvert. If it's of a significant length, like 40 meters, 100 meters, 120 meters, whatever, so we may provide steel bridge for that purpose, because we have a number of steel bridges in the country. So the particular type of bridge to be constructed will depend upon the studies and the completion of the studies. And by the end of the year, we will be in the position to do that determination. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member.
That's right. Mr. Speaker, will the Minister assist in providing a canoe service between these two banks that is able to carry some passengers and goods to be ferried across?
The minister is not minister
Even
for
liaising, assist.
He's not the minister for transportation.
Yes, so assist by liaising with his counterparts to see how that can be done in the interim.
Definitely, I can't admit that supplementary question. But tell your colleague who granted you the authority, there's a vast difference between consider constructing a steel bridge and to construct a steel bridge. You see, the question he asked said, to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways, when will the ministry consider constructing a steel bridge on River Mlago? The question is not, when will the ministry construct a steel bridge, but consider constructing. So there's a vast difference. Those your supplementary questions, even the earlier one, did not arise, but I decided to relax the rule for the minister to disclose what he did to you. So next time, if you want to be that specific, it has to be, when will the ministry construct? Then you now be pinning the minister down to date, timelines, and the rest. But considering it's something that the ministry will discuss and then pen down, and it will take some time. So I think this is sufficient. We'll move on to question number 635. 635 stands in the name of the honorable member for Adentan, Honorable Mohammed Adamu Ramadan. Honorable member, you may ask your question now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways the status of the road from the Gull Junction to Little Roses Down after the contractor abandoned site in the early part of 2017. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Gull Junction to Little Roses Down Road is located in Asharuboche, a community in the Adentan municipality. It is situated at west of Nanakrum and south of New Legon. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the program is that this road forms part of the contract titled Upgrading of Little Roses Nanakrum Last Stop to New Adentan Asali Botre Road, measuring 2.6 kilometers. Work on this road commenced on 8 June 2018 for completion by 8 June 2019 and was revised to 31st December 2022 after variation to the scope of the works. Mr. Speaker, progress of work to date is at 40% fiscal completion. The contractor is currently not on site, and efforts are being made to get the contractor to return to site to complete the outstanding works by the fourth quarter of 2022. Mr. Speaker, failure of which will lead to the initiation of contractual procedures to terminate the contract. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the Minister's answer, it says that progress of work to date is at 40%. I've engaged with a contractor and he pre-financed this 40%. So the best effort I'll plead with Minister to help him to return to site is he has raised a number of certificates, but he has still not been paid. So, and he has assured that even if he gets one or two of the certificates paid, he will return to site. So looking at him giving a timeline to complete by end of fourth quarter of 2022, and given the month we're in now, to terminate the contract because of lack of payment maybe will be a bit of a challenge. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll plead with the Minister for Roads to please intervene so that he's paid for him to get back to site and do the work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And the Minister has demonstrated over time, at least in my constituency, good faith where he has intervened and gotten some bridges done. So I'm sure with this one too, he will do the same for me. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful.
Honorable members, we move to the next question. 6. (638) stands in the name of the honorable member for Evaluate Ajumoro Jura. The name of the constituency has changed. Evaluate Ajumoro Jura. Honorable Kofi Ako Nokwe. Please, honorable member, you may ask your question now.
Right,
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, with respect, I got permission and authorization from the member to ask this question on his behalf. He is unavoidably absent at this moment. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
I'm sure you were here when I stated clearly that I will not take this excuse. A member being unavoidably absent. How can a member be unavoidably absent? After giving you authority, he would have told you why he's absent. You can't say unavoidably absent. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the permission to ask.
I have not granted you permission. I just wanted to know why the member is absent. Disclose that one. Don't say unavoidably absent.
Mr. Speaker, he called in ill this morning. Not very healthy, Mr. Speaker. Yes.
Oh, the member was not happy.
Pardon me, Mr. Speaker.
You said the member was not happy.
Ill. He called in ill. So he wasn't feeling very well and hoping to join us if he gets better, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
So unavoidably absent, the member was taken ill. Honorable Doctor, you know that cannot be unavoidably absent. Anyway, you have my permission to ask the question on his behalf.
I'm most grateful indeed, Mr. Speaker, for the permission to ask this question on behalf to the Minister of Roads, on behalf of Honorable Kofi Ako Nokoi. The Speaker, the question is to ask the Minister of Roads and Highways the plans the ministry have to renovate the Dominancy Bridge on River Akobara in the Enzima East municipality. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Dominancy Bridge is located at kilometer 12 plus 900 on the Enibane Junction to Teleku Bukazo Road, which lies in the Nzima East municipality. The road forms part of the regional road R088. The road is a strategic route as it links the Epimanim to Takwa Road to the Epimanim to Elubu section of the National Route N1. Mr. Speaker, this road is currently awarded to MS Memphis Metropolitan Limited under the Critical Roads Program, known as the rehabilitation of Esiama to Telikubukazo to Enibane Junction. That is the portion between kilometer 5.5 to kilometer 35.7 in WR, that is Western Region Lot 3. Mr. Speaker, however, this road contract does not include the rehabilitation of the Dominancy Bridge. The current program is that no contract is awarded for the maintenance or rehabilitation of the Dominancy Bridge. The maintenance of this bridge is being considered under the 2023 budget. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, any supplementary?
No supplementary questions, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you too, because the question was just on renovation. The minister went further to talk about rehabilitation and maintenance. But the question was specifically on renovation. to renovate the Dominasi Bridge, just renovation. So if it's going to be captured, the member should be observant and go through the budget and follow to the ministry to see whether it's actually been captured for maintenance. So kindly convey that to the honorable member. Question number 1348. 1348 stands in the name of the honorable member for Kwadaso, Honorable Dr. Kingsley Nyako. Honorable member, you may ask your question now.
Honorable Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity to ask this question. With your permission, I would like to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the following roads in the Kwadaso constituency are scheduled for completion. I, Tanoso Market to Apatrapa. I, Tanoso Palace to Achuma Techima. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Kwadaso municipality is one of the 43 assemblies in the Ashanti region. It has Kwadaso as its administrative capital. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the Tanoso Market to Apatrapa Road is a 1 kilometer corrector road which connects the Tanoso and Apatrapa communities. Likewise, the Tanoso Palace to Achuma Techiman Road is a 1.7 kilometer corrector road linking the Tanoso Palace to Achuma Techiman suburb. Mr. Speaker, a contract for the rehabilitation of these roads commenced on 13 August 2019 for completion by 12 February 2021. The project duration has since elapsed. The contractor has constructed 6,808.07 meters of U-drain on the project to date. However, earthworks are yet to commence. The project is at 41% physical completion, and the contractor is not on site. Mr. Speaker, the department is taking necessary steps to get the contractor to return to site to complete the outstanding works. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Yes, please, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the last paragraph, it reads, the department is taking the necessary steps to get a contractor to return to site to complete the outstanding works. I would like to find out from the Honorable Minister which specific steps are being taken to make sure that the road is done. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in construction generally, and in particular road construction, there is no road construction going on anywhere in the country without a supervising engineer. So if the tempo of the rate of the work goes down, there is an engineer on the spot who follows up and who monitors. So steps are always taken to be in touch with the contractor to return to site. The contractor may have all kinds of problems. At times, it may not necessarily be lack of capacity or willingness to work. It could even mean that the contractor has come face to face with right-of-way problem. It could also be that the necessary compensation will have to be paid by the employer to enable the contractor to work. So we take all these steps to establish why the work has either slowed down or abandoned altogether. And in this particular case, the contractor has left site, and we are trying to get him back to site because we know the contractor involved, the Jones Investment Limited. So he is being written to. We are hoping that he will respond and return to site. But we have to follow the contractual provision, to the latter. And if he doesn't return, as I indicated, we shall do the needful. And if it will mean terminating the contract, eventually it will be done. And then repackaged and awarded to a more competent contractor. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Honourable Speaker, I'm happy. Honourable Minister has indicated that the contractor is not on site. Mr. Speaker, I've spoken with the contractor, the Jones, and he told me that he's being owed an amount of 5 million Ghana cedis. For me, this is a major obstacle. And I want to ask the Honourable Minister if he is going to make provision in the 2023 budget to cater for this particular facility. This road started in 2007. It stalled, and we are awarded in 2019. 15 good years, 1 kilometer road. I want to ask him if he's willing to make provision in the budget for 2023 to cater for the facility. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think so had been indicated in the answer. Of course, the willingness is always there. It is the wish of the ministry, it is the wish of government, it is the wish of everybody that all roads in our country are constructed. But it's also not the case that all roads will be constructed. Work given to all contractors, will be carried out as expected. So the will is always there, and we shall do whatever is necessary to make sure that the work is done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further supplementary? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my last question. From the minister's answer, steps are going to be taken. The soul is willing, but the body is weak. I don't get the way out. But I want to play with him. The 1 kilometer road for 15 years, something must be done about it. Respectfully, I'm pleading with him to make sure that those living within that enclave are helped, because the pain and the burden for 15 years, I think, are unfortunate and very sad. Thank you.
Honourable members, we move to question number 1349, and that question also stands in the name of the honourable member for Kwadaso. Honourable member, you may ask the question.
Thank you once again, Honourable Speaker. With your leave, I would like to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Tanoso-Abuaka Road is scheduled for completion to ease vehicular traffic on that major road. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Tanoso-Abuaka Road is a section of the Kumasi-Sunyani Highway. It connects Kumasi to Sunyani. This major highway is one of the heaviest traffic roads within the Kwadasu municipality that has been under construction since 2007. Mr. Speaker, the reconstruction of the Kumasi-Sunyani Highway commenced in August 2007 for completion by 2010. However, the project was stopped due to delayed payment of work done and delays in payment of compensation to affected property owners. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the outstanding works on the stalled project were repackaged and awarded as the reconstruction of Sunyani Road Phase 2 in August 2020. The section of the highway from Tanosu to Ebuakwa forms part of this current project. Mr. Speaker, the scope of the current project comprises 1, the reconstruction of Sunyani Road from Ebuakwa to Apatrapa Junction in Tanosu and Cambridge School to Bekwai Roundabout. 2, dualization of New Bekwai Road, that is from Kumasi Center for National Culture to Santasi Roundabout. 3, construction of an interchange at Bekwai Roundabout. 4, development of selected roads in South Central Esuoyeboa, Apatrapa, and Ebuakwa. 5, completion of pedestrian underpasses, installation of traffic signals, junction improvements. Mr. Speaker, works on the project commenced on 1st October 2020 and scheduled for completion by September 2023. The project is currently at 32% physical completion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, any supplementary?
Honorable Speaker, I asked a very specific question, and the Minister was kind enough and giving me a very comprehensive and detailed response. And according to him, if you look at the last paragraph, the entire project is scheduled to complete by September 2023. I would like to know from him the specific question regarding the road from Tanosu to Ebuakwa. When is that stretch going to be completed? Thank you.
Specifically, Minister, the question is on a portion of that road, and is asking when that portion will be completed, not the entire road, but the question is on a specific portion of that road. That is from Tanaso to Abuakwa.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have stated the completion date of the entire project. I did so because, Mr. Speaker, the Tanosu to Ebuakwa cannot be taken in isolation because it's one composite project, and in construction we have not divided the works, into different timings. Because it's one composite project, we have defined clearly the scope of works. And the scope of works will mean that you take the entire project as one. But it has to commence from somewhere and end at another place. And strategically, contractors would have to do diversions for the management of traffic. So a portion cannot be teased out and considered the exact completion date. But within the period between now and September 2023, that portion would have been covered. But I cannot specifically say that between, say, January and March, 10 or so, Buakwa will be finished. If that is the wish now, depending upon the traffic situation there, it could be discussed and considered. Because, like I said, there is an engineer on the project. So if that portion has a specific problem, the contractor's attention could be adverted to that, to deal with that portion. Otherwise, we look at the project as one, the project as indivisible composite project, which must complete within the time frame. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member, your last supplementary.
Honourable Speaker, I'm grateful to Honourable Minister for his answer. I'll also plead with him again to speak with the contractor and the engineers to expedite works on that stretch because the congestion there is worrying. Thank you.
Honourable members, we now move to question number 1352. And that question stands in the name of Honourable Miss Dakwa Newman, the Honourable Member for Okakwe South. Honourable Member, you may ask your question now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when Tabo Street, that is the road from Atiko Block Factory to the Akuman Post Office in Okakwe South, will be constructed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Okakwe South is one of the constituencies located in the Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA of the Greater Accra region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, engineering studies have been undertaken on the road in question, and estimates for drainage, reconstruction, and resurfacing have been prepared for approval and consideration in the 2023 budget. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary?
No, please, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. We move to the next question, and the question stands in the name of the same Honourable Member from Okakwe South. So, Honourable Member, you may ask your question now.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways measures the Department of Urban Roads has taken for an assessment of drainage systems in areas that require drains to avoid flooding in Okakwe South constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Okakwe South is one of the constituencies located in the Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA of the Greater Accra region. Currently, the Greater Accra Regional Office of the Department of Urban Roads will liaise with the Assembly's Road Department as well as the Hydrological Services Division to undertake an engineering assessment for consideration by end of first quarter of 2023. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary?
No, please, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. Honourable Members, before I hand over to the second Deputy Speaker, I would want to, on your behalf, thank the Minister for Roads and Highways for attending upon the House and responding to the questions posed by honourable members. Honourable Minister, we are grateful and you are hereby discharged. I now invite the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations to take his proper seat. The second Deputy Speaker will take the chair. But I want to draw the attention of the House to Standing Order 212. Honorable members, I seek your indulgence to listen to Standing Order 212. I quote, 2121. Every committee to which a matter is referred shall report to the House before the end of each session of Parliament. If a committee finds itself unable to complete any investigations, inquiry, or other matter referred to it before the end of the session, it shall so report to the House. 2121. Very specific. We have referred a number of matters to a number of committees for sessions now. No report from the committees. Honorable members, I will be compelled as the chairman of the Committee of Selection to apply Rule 193 of our standing orders. Rule 193 of our standing orders. I'll go through the process. If you want, I'll read the rule for you. And at the end of the day, I will apply 193C. A number of matters of public concern, a number of matters involving members of our constituencies have been referred to a number of committees, and we have not heard anything from the committees. It's my duty to take action in this matter, and I will do so. 193. Yes, Honorable Majority Chief Whip. Am I out of order?
Speaker, certainly no. The Speaker cannot be out of order. Speaker, just to make a prayer, seeking your kind indulgence to, with greatest of respect, to further defer this matter to leadership for us to, Speaker, engage appropriately the committee leadership. I recall I presented, the last time I presented the business statement for and on behalf of the majority leader, a concern like this came up. And so, Speaker, you couldn't have been wrong to have mentioned it and rightly quoting the rightful orders. But just to plead, to give us the benefit of the doubt, a day or two for us to do the needful and appropriately report back to you. It's a prayer and it's an appeal, Speaker. Your kindness.
Yes, Honorable Majority Chief Whip, I've listened to your prayer. This is not the first time I've raised this matter on the floor. And on 2 occasions, I drew the attention of leadership to this matter. And I expected you to have taken action on it. You haven't. But the order 2 I referred to, Order 193, definitely I'll be doing it in consultation with leadership. If you look at 193, particularly B, But even in C, you see that we have to get in touch with the members concerned and the rest. I just want us to trigger the process so that members see that when you refer matters to a committee, the committee cannot just on its own decide to do what the committee wants. There are rules guiding the completion and presentation of reports to the House. But referred things to members, committees at the beginning of last year, even some before. And nothing has happened. No reports, nothing. They've not even come to the committee of selection or even to speaker to say for 1, 2, 3 reasons we are not able to report. And the public is concerned, and I'm receiving a lot of inquiries. I can't keep on telling the public or the people involved that the matter is before committee, the matter is before committee. I mean, we can't continue that way. I taking your prayer into consideration, and I want leadership of the House to brief me on the state of those issues before the end of this week. With this, the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker to take the chair. Yes, Honorable Minister, my colleague will handle your questions.
So, honorable members, we are turning to question 1552. Question 1552, page 3. And the question stands in the name of a member for Nalugu Gambaga, Honorable Sedu Isifu. Honorable, the Minister is waiting for your question.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations if government has plans to review the daily minimum wage of 13.13 cities 53 pesos upward to cushion the citizens in these times of economic hardships. Thank you.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, government has commenced processes for the determination of the 2023 National Daily Minimum Wage by the National Tripartite Committee. Mr. Speaker, the negotiations are ongoing and will update the House when we are done. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Member, any further question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can I find out from the Minister what indication he can give us as far as the timing is concerned? How soon will these negotiations be completed for a new minimum wage to be announced? Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I indicated, this is a tripartite function, and one party cannot say that it will come to a determination on a particular date. We are negotiating, and depending on when we finish, we will update the House. I want to believe that we will be able to finish maybe before the budget is ready.
Very well. Honorable Saidu, any
Thank
further
you,
question?
Mr. Speaker. No any further question.
Very well. We now turn to question 1553. Question 1553, and it stands in the same member's name, Honorable Saidu Isifu. Honorable, you may ask your second question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations what is being done to tackle the rising youth unemployment situation in the Nalerigu-Gambaga constituency. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, employment creation takes place within the wider economic environment, be it the public sector or private sector. The ratio of public sector jobs to private sector jobs is about 1 to 12. What government does is to stimulate the economy for job creation. However, government through the provision of public services also creates employment. The Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations does facilitate government actions towards employment, even though employment generation cuts across all sectors of the economy. Government actions such as the Planting for Food and Jobs program, One District, One Factory, skills training by skill training institutions such as the TVET institutions, and coordinated training by master craftsmen in the private sectors are all avenues for job creation. The Youth Employment Program and the Youth Start Program are all among some of the government direct actions on job creation. Mr. Speaker, government does not discriminate in its job creation agenda. As a result, I will entreat the Honourable Member of Parliament for Nalerigu-Gambaga constituency to contact the district authorities for information on existing employment opportunities for youth in that geographical location. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Member, any further question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with all these programs rolled out, the Northeast region, for which my constituency is the capital, accounts for about 25.2% of the unemployment rate in Ghana. Now, if you look at the report from the Ghana Population and Housing Census, you realize that age bracket between 15 and 35, the unemployment average rate in Ghana is about 19.7%. But in my constituency, it is 25.2%. I want to find out from the minister, with all these interventions, my constituency is still at the extreme end, above the national average. What are these interventions how are these interventions being directed to address this serious canker that we have, so that at least it can also fall below the national average? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I did mention that when we talk of employment, employment takes place within the wider spectrum of the economy. It is not just the public sector that provides employment. The private sector also do provide employment. And I indicated that the proportion of private sector jobs to public sector jobs is 1 to 12, which then suggests that one of the most ideal places to get job is the private sector. But what government does is to stimulate an economic growth, and then the private sector will take advantage of that. So what I'm trying to say is that the honourable member should look at the opportunity in that area and encourage his own people to also invest in it. But for the public sector ones, I indicated that the coordinating points are the district assemblies. And then I will want to urge you to get closer to your district chief executive to look at the programs there and encourage your people to take advantage of it. The Youth Start program, for instance, was launched just yesterday. So maybe it's not gotten to the district level yet, but it's coming, and just prepare your young people to take advantage of that. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Secretary, do you want to further ask question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the minister loud and clear, but I have a challenge, which is response number 6. I feel that if you look at your response number 6, if Mr. Speaker will permit me, I can just read it. The minister says that, Mr. Speaker, government does not discriminate in its job creation agenda. As a result, I will entreat the Honourable Member of Parliament for Nalergo Gambaga to contact the district authorities for information on existing employment opportunities for the youth in that regional location. Mr. Speaker, I have a problem with this response. The minister is addressing the chair, and I personally feel that this response is unparliamentary. Our standing orders enjoins the speaker to appear before Parliament to answer questions. And if it is stated in our budget, in the Constitution, in the 1992 Constitution, Article 36(1) says that the government should give equal opportunities and for people to have livelihood. It is an employment. It is an imperative for the government to do that, and he is the minister responsible. So if I raise a question and he's directing me to relevant agencies in my district, would that necessarily telling me that there's an opportunity here, job opportunities are in this particular sector, we have allocated this number of jobs to this area so that we could also take advantage of it. Now the minister hasn't done that, and this response is what he's given to me. Mr. Speaker, I think he has not addressed your chair properly, and I want the minister to withdraw this portion of his answer and come back to the House to do the needful. I think that he has a duty as per Article 36(1) to address the House, and as for our standing orders, to also respond to our questions in a way that will create a congenial environment for us. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To be very honest, I didn't get the import of the question. But, Mr. Speaker, in the answer, I had indicated various job opportunities across the length and breadth of our country. And in the last paragraph, I indicated to the Honourable Member that all these opportunities exist in his constituency or the geographical area, and therefore all he needs to do is to link up with the district authorities, and they will more or less let him know the opportunities there so that he can avail it to his constituents. I don't see how offensive this language is, and I want to believe that this is not something which is unparliamentary at all, even though I will leave that to your good judgment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. So we'll move on. Honorable Saidu, it's okay. You've had enough. So let's move on to question number 1101. 1101. And it appears our sister is not here. Honorable Member for Crote Kole. this question is not coming to you. Anyway, then, Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, we would like to thank you very much for attending upon the House to come and answer members' questions. We are grateful to you, and you are hereby discharged. So let me invite the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Honorable Awa, to also take the seat. So, Honorable Member for Fajeto, are you standing to ask the question on behalf of Member for Krotekole? Honorable Zinato Ajma Lawrence. So you may ask the question now.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, on behalf of the Honorable Member whose authority I have, to know the specific plans the Minister has for the Arts and Cultural Center in Accra.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Center for National Culture, Greater Accra, popularly known as the Arts Center, is within the enclave earmarked for development under the Marine Drive project. So, Speaker, as a result of this, the offices and shops within the Marine Drive enclave used by the artisans of arts and culture, souvenirs and vendors of arts and culture have been earmarked to be relocated as follows. 1, Mr. Speaker, Office of Center for National Culture, Greater Accra, has been earmarked to be relocated to the Ghana House near the Post Office headquarters in Accra. 2, Performing Arts Unit of the Center for National Culture is also earmarked to be relocated to the National Theatre of Ghana. 3, Mr. Speaker, provision has been made for the construction of 728 stores at the Community Education, Youth and Development Department of the National Commission on Culture at Kaukudi, and the also is Municipality of Greater Accra region, to provide stores for retailers of arts and cultural products. 4, the artisans have been earmarked to be located to a site near Dodowa in the Shah Usudokum Municipal Assembly. 5, it's also been proposed that the performance hall be constructed within the Marine Drive project to accommodate various performing artists by the time the enclave is fully developed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Yes, Honorable Member, any follow-up question?
Yes, sir. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister the extent of work on the Marine Drive Enclave project. How far percentage of work on that? My first question.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Marine Drive project is at the Presidency. It's not under my office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well. Did you get his answer? Minister, may you repeat the answer for us?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Marine Drive project is under the Office of the Presidency. It's not under my office.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm surprised. At least as a Minister of Tourism, who is going to benefit from the project, at least you've been going there, or you should have been going there to see. Anyway, my next question to you is the relocation of the artisans that you specified in your answer. When will that take place?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The work at Kaukudi is about 95% complete.
So hopefully early next year, it should be done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This is the last one that she personally wrote for me to ask or to request from you. She said the shops, if finally completed for relocation, should be given to those who deserve it. An appeal to you. Thank you.
Yes, Minister. Hey, Honorable Collins, why are you so anxious to ask questions?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we'll do the right thing. Thank you.
Now, Honorable Collins, let the House hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this House approves legislative instruments to establish district, municipal, and metropolitan assemblies. So far, I am not aware of any assembly called Awa Yaso East Municipality. Can the minister come clean on that? Awa Yaso. There's no municipality in Ghana called Awa Yaso.
Minister, can you give us a clarification?
Mr. Speaker, sorry, it's a typo. Typo mistake. Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Ayawaso.
Well. So we move to question 1102. Question 1102. And the question stands the name of a member for Bole Bamboy. Bole Bamboy. Did you hear your name? You just Honorable, you just entered. So ask your question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture what maintenance regime is in place to routinely maintain Asian mosques in Larbanga, Bandang Kwanta, Yimange Imbole, and Malwe. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, which has oversight responsibility of these heritage sites, has been in touch with the communities who own these sites as primary custodians. So, the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board has met with various communities to assess the state of conservation of each of these facilities. These include Banda, Nkwanta, Maluo, Bole, and Larbanga in the Savannah region. The rest are Yoli, Yepele, Dondole, Nakori, and Wichao mosques in the Upper West region. So, Speaker, our regional office in Gwa is in charge of these sites, and they are in regular discussion with the chiefs and community leaders to ensure their conservation. The Gwa office and the Larbanga youth have been able to source funding through the Sankofa project to rehabilitate the Larbanga mosque that was in last November. So, Speaker, we are looking forward to partner with the communities to rehabilitate the rest of the mosques. High on our program are the mosques in Malui, Bole, Bandang Kwanta, and Dondole. The people in Nakore, through self-help, have started the rehabilitation of their mosques since last year. We are extending help to them next year. So, Speaker, we also want to identify selected experts, Ghanaians or foreigners, to start documenting the mosques for nomination and for preservation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Yes, Honorable Yusuf, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister. He's saying that we are looking forward to partner the communities in the rehabilitate or to rehabilitate the rest of the mosque. I want to find out what specific partnership relationship do you want from them? We want to know what do you expect them to do so that we can guide them to do that in order that they are able to partner you together.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
the mosques largely owned, mainly owned by the people. The partnership we are looking for and tell exactly what we should do based on UNESCO and global heritage practices. So we want them to come out in terms of community labor preservation methodology that they think they have, so that together we can do and develop it and preserve it for future use. Thanks, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Yusuf.
Mr. Speaker, much as I agree with the Minister that there's a need for these facilities to be maintained, the problem has been that we are unable to consistently maintain them. The maintenance culture is not there. We are aware that these are tourist sites. People visit them, tourists visit them. Whether they pay money or not, we don't know. Is there anything in place to ensure that tourists who visit these sites pay something that can be used to be able to maintain these facilities, even when government doesn't come in or UNESCO doesn't come in? Can there be any source of raising revenue from the tourists so the local people are able to maintain these facilities? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, we're trying to even digitalize all our tourist sites. I want to involve the communities, and there's a sharing formula that when tourists come and they pay, community will own some of the money. They will maintain some for maintenance, whilst also do the maintenance from head office. But it's a sharing formula that we want to introduce and also digitize the areas, ensure that when tourists come, they pay. Part of the money is left with the community to maintain the structures. Thank you.
Your last slot.
Finally, I want to find out from my brother, the Minister, when we should expect them in these communities. And I will be glad to be there to help ensure that you are able to carry out these laudable ideas. So when do we expect you in the Bole Bamboy constituency so that we assist you to get these projects through? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have a plan to visit the area in March to finalize all that I know with the community engagement, and we'll let you know and involve you.
Thank you very much. We now move to a member of Qatar, Honorable Kwame Gape. Honorable the Minister is here. You may ask your question now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture the plans the ministry has to promote tourism on Keta Lagoon, the largest in West Africa.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Water River on the eastern coast of Ghana covers a length of 126 kilometers. The Keta Lagoon is the largest lagoon in Ghana. The lagoon has enormous potentials to be developed as an important ecotourism, agro-tourism, heritage tourism, and leisure tourism site in the country. Mr. Speaker, on the ecotourism enclave, the Keta Lagoon enclave remains a key habitat for aquatic and wetland animals and other species. It has also been noted for its rich coastal and marine diversity and supports internationally important species of migratory birds. The Fubemi to Anloga Beach stretch is one of the major sea turtle breeding spots in Ghana. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, through its implementing agency, the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. Speaker, will partner with the Department of Game and Wildlife to develop an ecotourism enclave within Afe, Dinyaba, Fiago, Wo, and Tigbe, and Adina communities. The existing receptive facilities for day and overnight bird watching are to be expanded with adequate toilet facility, tourist information center, and parking area for tourists. Already, Mr. Speaker, a number of private tour operators organize bird watching safaris for local and foreign tourists. Mr. Speaker, under heritage tourism, historical buildings and heritage sites such as St. Paul Lighthouse, located in Wo, and Fort Princeton in Keta, are important tourist attractions in the area. St. Paul Lighthouse was built by the Dutch in 1802 to guide ships anchoring at the coastline, while Fort Pleasanton was constructed by the Danes in 1784 as a trading structure at the onset and later as a slave dungeon. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, through its agency, Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, and the Ghana Tourism Authority, are working to restore, preserve, and market these important historical monuments to the diaspora markets as part of Beyond the Return project. The Speaker, under agro-tourism, crop farming, one of the most important socio-economic activities provided by the lagoon. The area is noted for being the foremost shallot growing area in Ghana. Tomatoes, chili pepper, and garden eggs are other vegetables widely cultivated by the inhabitants within the environs of the wetlands. Sugarcane cultivation is also undertaken on smallholder plantation basis on the western side of the Abu Lagoon, which the local community usually harvests and distill into local exploitation. Fishing, salt mining, and basket weaving, Mr. Speaker, are also undertaken by communities such as Kezi and Adina, and those along the road from Dublin to Sevilla Tula Junction. Speaker, the Ministry will collaborate with partners, with empowered attraction authorities, community leaders, and the National Assembly to develop these activities into agro-tourism attractions to enhance the livelihood of the people. Mr. Speaker, under leisure tourism, the Keta Lagoon has been identified for its potential for leisure and recreational activities and development of resorts. Various water sports like boat cruises, canoe and kayak trips will also be developed. Ghana Tourism Authority will work closely with the private investor to develop the Keta Lagoon for recreational, leisure, and resort enclave. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member for Keta, any supplementary question?
Yes, please, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Minister, under the heritage tourism, Fort Pleasanton and then St. Paul Lighthouse, have not seen any renovation. Is the Ministry having any plans to refurbish or renovate these places?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have what we call the Ghana Tourism Development Project, funded by the World Bank. And next year, we're going to embark on the application of all the major forts and castles. And that's St. Paul and Pleasanton are part of it. So next year, God willing, we'll work on it and work with you and the communities to achieve that. So, thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We will use the opportunity to thank the Minister. Next year, those places will see renovation by his words. So next year, I'll be zooming on that. Under the eco-tourism, the minister in his answer make mention that the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, through its implementation agency, GTA, will partner with the Department of Games and Wildlife under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to develop an eco-tourism enclave within the Keta Lagoon. I would like to know, find out from the Minister, is that partnership already beginning or is yet to do that?
May you repeat the question, Honourable Member?
The Minister is talking about partnership with other ministries to actually develop eco-tourism within the Keta Lagoon enclaves. I would like to know whether that partnership is yet to happen or they have started.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In fact, we've commenced discussions already, and hopefully, by the end of the year, we shall have had some concrete decisions to take. And we want to work with you and the community to ensure that this takes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the last opportunity, and then thank the Minister for answering. Next year, we will be zooming on that also. This one is under agro-tourism. In the answer provided by the Minister, he make mention of shallot, tomato, and other vegetables, chili and other vegetables that do well along the coast as well as the lagoon enclave. And once upon a time, shallot was a booming business in Keta Lagoon enclave. I would like to find out from the Minister whether you have any discussions with the Minister of Agri in redevelopment of these indigenous crops, especially the shallot, for the market.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The tourism impacts on all sectors of the Ghanaian economy, and it's a cross-sectoral activity. So we work with all ministries, agencies, and departments to achieve our goal. So the discussion with the Minister of Agri and others are ongoing. We cannot do it alone. We have to partner them to do it. So it's an ongoing discussion to achieve the best result for the people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, let's turn to question 1281. Question 1281. The question stands in the name of a member for Pro East, Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donko. Yes, Honorable, you may ask your question then.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture what the ministry is doing to promote recreation and ecotourism on the Volta Lake.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Volta Lake is the largest man-made lake in the world and covers an area of about 8515 hectares. So, Speaker, the lake provides enormous opportunities to be developed for leisure, recreation, and ecotourism. So, Speaker, already MV Princess 2 offers a unique package of adventure entertainment on the Volta Lake for Akosombo to the island. The estuary of the Volta River has a great scenic beauty. The extensive sandbars provide resting grounds for seabirds. It also provides a safe haven for some endangered species of marine turtles. This provides opportunity for ecotourism development. The Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture is working to develop the Volta Lake for water sports, promote skiing, cruising for tourists, and develop yachting. So, Speaker, the Minister will collaborate with the Minister of Youth and Sports to institute Water Sports Festival, which will spur development within the Volta Lake area enclave. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kabradonko, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the minister says the ministry is working, I want to know what type of work. Is there a policy document that has been developed? And has there been stakeholder consultation in developing this policy document, if any at all?
The Minister, he wants to know the kind of work.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are developing a document to share, to guide us in all the development. What we do is that we get consultants to support us. Once we are done, we now go to various communities to engage them and speak their views before we do the final documentation. So that's where we are now. After the general consultation, we come back to the committee and the key stakeholders for the input before we draw the line on it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, is the minister assuring this House that consultants have been engaged, or they are now seeking to engage consultants to carry out this work?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, we have a consultants working on the whole northern side and the SADC. That one, the two parts of the country. The country divided into two parts: northern development and southern development. They are supposed to give us their report somewhere in March. When they give the report, we now have to cascade down to the various stakeholders in the communities to discuss it. So, expecting their results, their feedback by March 2023, after which we now go down and engage the key stakeholders in the areas. Thank you.
Doc, your last question.
Mr. Speaker, my question was very specific on the Volta Lake. My question is not on the geographical north or the geographical south of this country, very specific on the Volta Lake. And that is why I want the assurance that are the consultants working on the Volta Lake? And if so, when will they be bringing their work to a conclusion for the various follow-up steps to take place?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. The consultants are working across the country, and the voter lake definitely is part of it. So I would want to assure honorable member that how much would engage you and let you know whatever it is. Thank you, Speaker.
It's voter lake. Okay. Member for Whole Central.
Available leader.
Let me chop the post small. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the minister whether he cannot identify a festival in the area, Kintampo area. I have been there. I have gone to stand at that central point. There's a waterfall. It's a big market center as well. If you cannot identify a festival, as we have in Roberto Toza and all that, so that he can use it as the point by which people can converge there and then really market the central point of Ghana. If you cannot identify one.
Honorable Minister, did you get the question? Honorable Member, were you asking a question or you are just passing commentary?
Whether he cannot identify a festival celebrated by the people of that area, which can be the focal point to attract tourists from both internal and external sources.
Honorable Minister, I hope you've not gotten the question. He is asking whether there's not possibility of establishing a festival along the people around the water lakes. Is that not what you are saying? So that we can use to attract people into the area. Honorable Member, is that not?
Mr. Speaker, Kintampo is a traditional area. People do celebrate festivals. Can he not identify one and market it as other festivals like Ogbetoto or Afashe are marketed to attract people to the area?
But, Honorable Member, you know, the question is about voter. So I thought you were asking questions about settlers around the water lakes, whether you cannot have. Anyway, Minister, if you can have something for.
Mr. Speaker, the question he asked had to do with Ghana's unique geographical position as the closest landmark to the geographical center of the world to high net worth tourists.
Honorable Member, if you are desirous of asking questions of the nature you want the minister to answer, please, why don't you bring a fresh question to the minister so that the minister can directly respond to the question you are intent to. So on that note, the question is not admissible. We move in, which stands in the same member's name, Honorable Kwabena, member for Pro East. Honorable, you may ask your second substantive question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture what efforts are being made to market Ghana's unique geographical position as the closest landmark to the geographical center of the world to high net worth tourists.
Honorable Minister, it appears the question he wanted to ask has something to do with this question. So.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is a country closest to the center of the world. The grid reference 0 at the equator and 0 at the latitude, 0, 0, points closest to Cape, 3 points, and Tema.
The Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture and the Ghana Tourism Authority has embarked on a series of tactical tourism campaigns, such as Experience Ghana, Share Ghana, and Destination Ghana. The tagline on Visit Ghana, which is Culture, Warmth, and Rhythm, have been enhanced with Ghana Center of the World tagline to aggressively market Destination Ghana as the center of the world. The Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture is collaborating with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Ghana Export Promotion Authority to adopt a common market brand, Ghana Center of the World, to promote Destination Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kabranongo. Mr. Speaker, the question was, or the question also relates to the intersection of latitude 0 degrees and longitude 0 degrees in our territorial waters. Will the minister consider organizing cruises and other forms of activities to the specific intersection and marketing it as a unique experience, Mr. Speaker?
Is the intersection located within the Volta Lake? I just want to find out from you that intersection you are talking about. Is it found within the local lake?
In our territorial waters, south of it. Yeah.
Okay, so Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we would consider honorable members' view and other views that will make sure that we sell Ghana and get the needed results. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, will the minister consider approaching UNESCO and other such international tourism bodies to assist Ghana develop and promote visits to the geographical center of the world? That is my second.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The ministry would consider all views and opinions that will help us, including the one we just exposed. We'll do our best to market the center to make Ghana a destination center. Thank you.
Honorable, your last question.
Mr. Speaker, on this trajectory, will the minister recognize that the type of tourism that will be beneficial to Ghana is not going to be mass tourism or bums on seats, as the British term it, but high-end, high-value tourists with high spending capacity? Will the minister consider this in developing a policy? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, tourism, there is no one fit all in terms of tourism promotion. We need a plethora of strategies to do that. So we'll consider his view and other views to make sure that Ghana is properly marketed and attracted as a destination in West Africa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the minister's answer, he says that the ministry is also collaborating with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and Ghana Export Promotion Authority to adopt a common market brand, Ghana Center of the World, to promote destination Ghana. My question to the Honorable Minister is to find out from the minister when this promotion, that's to promote Ghana destination, Ghana Center of the World, when will it be launched? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It will launch next year. Thank you.
Did you say next year? Next year? July next year?
It will launch in the second quarter of next year, Mr. Speaker.
Now, you should know that we have assurance committee working seriously. So once you say it in the House here,
It means it's on record that you say next year, by second quarter, it will be launched. Very well. Honorable available leader, you have one slot. You finish yours.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable leader, you've already exhausted your slot.
No, as available leader, Mr. Speaker, I'm allowed to ask two questions, Mr. Speaker.
This is a supplementary question. Respectfully, no. So we move to question 1283. Question 1283. Oh, you wanted to ask question? Oh, no, but did you want to ask question? Okay, fine. Question 1283. It stands the name of a member for Akan. Honorable Yao Gumado. Are you member for Akan? Okay, let's hear you. Speak on your
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture what plans the ministry has to develop the following into tourist sites in the KJB district. The stone pillar found at Nyonku, number 1. The stone cave found at Bakpa. Obulete Caves, located in Asatumenu Range. Embroidered inscription on rock found at Butabe. The crocodile pond found at Koru. And the fetish shrine at Toto Hill in the Dodo traditional area.
Yes. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, through the Ghana Tourism Development Project, has also including the JB districts. The Water Regional Director of the GTA has visited the an MOU with authorities and communities, and the District Assembly as stipulated in the tourism.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Member for Akan, any supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The identified site. Could the minister tell the House why engaging GTA director from the Volta
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. We engaging a regional director. The regions were created not long ago. And as for when they visited, the Speaker, I need to be permitted.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you once again. He mentioned also that these sites have been visited additional authorities in the communities and the district assembly. Do you have any idea when it's likely Mr. Speaker, I'm asking the minister that by the various traditional authorities in the communities, as well as the district assembly. Do you have any idea
A review meeting with all the regional directors in December before Christmas. Once we agree. Thank you.
Honorable member, are you exhausted? Or okay, you ask the question.
on the
Get the question? I think he was talking about prototype.
If I get it right, thank you. We, as I said, we have a review meeting with all regional directors in December before Christmas. Once you get
yes,
Speaker, I'm grateful for indulging me. I see a number of these dotted across the country, and we remember a number of them. My interest is to find out from the minister. Clearly, government cannot be
yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tourism is largely a private sector activity. Indeed, next year, we're going to have a whole tourism forum. Look at potential.
Thank you very much. We move to question four. 02, and the question stands in the
I want to ask the Minister for Tourism and Tourism, Arts and Culture plans the ministry as they are currently in a state of abandonment. One, fuller thought.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the campaign, in Tampo North constituency, the cascading nature of the waterfall over the rocky surfaces before it council. So, Speaker, the Minister of Arts and Culture, through the Ghana Tourism Authority, is working with the Middle Belt Authority and the bonus tourism enclave. So, the Kunsu slave case is among the transatlantic slave markets earmarked Salaga and ruled today castles along the coast. Consultant firm has been tasked to review the existing conditions at the various components for engagement and reconnection with the African diaspora, who constitute a significant segment of the tourism market, the diaspora marketing for Ghana. So, Speaker, the center under the center of the Ministry through a center with additional tourist receptive facilities celebrate the unique landmark area. Thank you, Speaker. Sir, will you consider routes from Salaga, yes, to Kunsu, and then from Kunsu, there's another from Kunsu, the slaves were brought to Kintampo town itself before through to Mampong. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. So, Speaker, we would improve the lives of people. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Honorable, let's hear your last.
With your permission. As a one-stop shop towards municipality, during the frontier force war, the African frontier force war, that of the whites who were lieutenants during the war, who died and they were buried there. We call it the White Cemetery. Will you consider adding strategic market in Tampo and Ghana? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Thank you. Additional facilities in mind of my ministry. He should revert his mind to other systems. Look at your question. The substance of your question is on. You cannot ask that question. Leader, Mr. Speaker, if my
you cannot bring the minister here with the view of coming to answer specific questions
right.
and be asking something else. We thank you, and honorable members, I would like to indulge you. Business. So can I sitting beyond? Thank you very much for hearing me. So we move to the last of honorable for Eurocrobo. Honorable Albert.
Constituency.
Yes, honorable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Eurocrobo municipality has enormous Mountain, the Boti Waterfalls, Umbrella Rock, and Sutapos, three-headed palm tree, and Oloquem Waterfalls at Adiko. So, Speaker, under the Tourism Sites Regulation 2019 L1, stakeholders and awareness engagements are underway on the benefits of tourist sites to socio-cultural development within the municipality. GT has signed an MOU with the traditional authorities and the municipal assembly to develop these sites. A prototype architectural design of the site has been vista interpretation will also be part of the area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable, any supplementary question?
Yes, Boti Falls has been a major source of livelihood for the people of with the road minister to at least initiate maintenance works on the roads from Boti and from Sikabeng to Obawale to Agogo and to Sutapon, so that we can reap the full benefits.
Yeah. He was pleading that Eurocrobo is a tourist area. Engage you to at least make the road tour.
We already have such interministerial relationship, and I work with my honorable collaborate, so it will be carried out, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Thank you. So, honorable, we may ask you.
The last paragraph, the third paragraph of your response, that GTA has an MOU. My check with the assembly indicates that the MC and the rest are not out of this MOU.
Thank you, Speaker. We'll find the copy.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Avila. Speaker, in the minister's answer, he said that under the speaker, I just want to find out from the minister, when will this be completed? Yes, Honorable.
Speaker, as soon as possible.
And culture, on behalf of this August House, I would like to thank you very much on the House and 8 separate questions, not to talk about the supplementary one.
Speaker, it's past 2, and it should be in your hands.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I agree with my colleague that we can adjourn. Thank you.
House to tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Tomorrow, 10 very much for your cooperation, and the House stands adjourned.